Hi guys, it's Mel and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about how I felt when I lost my son at 17 days old to SIDS. Hopefully if you're going through that experience, or if you have this experience in the future, I hope not, I want to be a crutch for you to help you feel better. So let's get into this video. Hi guys, so as the title said, we're going to talk about how I feel after losing my son and things of that matter to help people that's going through the same situation. So I'm going to start by talking about the night before. So the night before, he was completely normal. I had took him to the doctor earlier that day. She said he was fine. So that right there, all in itself, is a mind mess up, because to wake up the next morning without you and you was just fine, that's a little much. So I put him down to bed and I got up at 3 a.m. to feed him like I normally do, because I breastfeed in different ways. Sometimes I breastfeed from pumping, sometimes I breastfeed from just putting them on the breast. But this particular time I had both. So I was giving bottle and I was breastfeeding. Whole time his gums, like he was trying to teeth, which was crazy because he was only 17 days old. So his doctor gave him some stuff to rub on his gums. I rubbed on his gums. It was a normal night. Put him on his pillow. He was sleeping. Mind you, I hadn't been to sleep since I had came home from the hospital. I was up every night, up, down, all throughout the day, because I do pump. So I don't have time to just nap. So what got me was from 3 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, I didn't go right to sleep. So about like 4 something, I'm asleep. And then it's like flash a light. And I wake up in the next morning. And I looked at his... So I reached for him like I normally would. And he was laying on his pillow. And I picked him up. And instantly I noticed that his chest wasn't going up or down. That made me panic. So I started the process, ripped the clothes off, started CPR on the phone with the paramedics, letting them know, hey, I had the situation. I woke up, he's not breathing. I'm giving him CPR. I'm blowing. So at the time, I didn't know what it was coming out his nose. It was like white and it had like blood in it. But that is a sign of SIDS. It's when the blood and the oxygen, all that mixed together, and it's the mucus and blood all clogging their airways when they already was having a hard time breathing or coming back to gain air. Some of them die in their sleep to the point where they couldn't catch their breath. But apparently, he was trying to catch his breath, and he could not. So, with his airways being blocked and all that like that, it was just really a bad situation to watch. And when it's your child, like, you could save a million lives. When it's your child, it's a whole nother hit down. So, paramedics get there. We going over what we did. The paramedics starts working them. Paramedics put him in a fire truck, and we're running to the hospital. All I remember is driving like a bat of hell. The car flying, and at this point I'm in the passenger seat, but it's like the car, I can feel the car flying. Like we're really flying after this fire truck. We get to the place, and the paramedic is crying. Oh, wow. So when I walk in, I see the paramedics crying. I already instantly know that there's nothing. So I walk through the double doors of the hospital, because at this point I'm not worried about no security or nothing. I just bust through. I bust through, and the lady stops me. And the lady tells me I can't be there. And I'm like, oh, yes, I can. Like, I just had this baby 17 days ago. Move. I get in there, and his little body's there, and he's like his last whine. Like, he gives me his last whine. And that broke me. It broke all pieces of me. And I had to get pushed out, and then we had to sit on the side by a window. I believe it was a big old window. That's all I remember. By me sitting out by the big window, the doctor comes in, and the doctor's like, can you sit down? I'm like, no, I can stand up. He like, no, can you sit down? So I sit down, and the doctor's like, well, the baby's gone. All right. So when he says the baby's gone, everybody that's with us is just like in shambles, and I'm stuck in scream mode. And I've never had that type of reaction to nothing. Like, I can cry and I can all that. That shit, excuse my French for people that's weak on language, that tore me up, because it was like a pain I have never felt. It was like I'm still leaking milk for this child. I just held this child. Like, it was just too much. It was too much for the world. Like, so I went outside, and the first person I called was my mama. And I told my mama, I was like, listen. She was like, hey, what's going on? It was like day and night. My mom was like, what's going on? I told her he's gone. She's like, what? She instantly panics. And I'm telling her what the situation. She's like, no. She's panicking. So I hang up with my mom. She must have called my grandma. So my grandma called me, and she's like, where are you? Where's the baby? She was panicking. So it was like we all was in like a hurricane, like a domino effect. Boom, boom, boom. Everything was just falling apart. So, and all this on Thanksgiving. Like, I'm never going to wake up and be like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. It's just really bad. Like, it's all bad. So, for anybody who's going through this situation and it just tear you up and rip you apart, it's not going to be easy at first. Like when you lose just family. But most people say that then you couldn't have loved them as the same. No, that's not. When it's your child, it's like constant flashbacks. Because all you remember is being pregnant. All you remember is having a baby. So it's constant flashbacks of what you went through previous to that moment. So it's gonna eat at you. You're gonna wonder what I could have did right, what I could have did wrong. Which in all reality, you did everything you could. But your mind is gonna jump places when it comes to your child. And that goes the same way if it was your mom or dad and you was the one who had to resuscitate them or get them CPR. But I'm telling you, it hit different when it's your child. Okay? So people that's going through the situation, I'm going to tell you the biggest thing that helped me get through the situation was praying. I had not prayed in so long. And literally I had to I was in a breakdown moment. Let me tell you this. I was crying. I was mad. And I got by myself. Nobody else. I prayed and asked for a purpose because I just could not understand how something so beautiful and precious could be took from me, right? Check this out. Time went on, weeks went on, and I kept meeting women that lost their son. You know, I wasn't meeting people that lost their daughter. I was literally directly meeting random women in the street that lost their baby son. Yeah. So I got the purpose that I had prayed for. God says he prepared me to prepare somebody else for this situation. Of course, it did hurt me. It did hurt. But how could I be there for somebody with this situation if I never felt it myself? And a lot of times we so selfish because we would have thought, it's my child. Don't take my child. But God blessed me with another child. I have a rainbow baby right now. I am 22 weeks and 4 days. So with that being said, I can't be selfish. Some people can't have kids ever again. Right. You know, so I mean, my purpose was to bless somebody else who's going through this. When you hurting and you having all no flashbacks, get away from everybody. I have a jumper. I kept my baby romper. You hold that romper and you pray. You pray and you talk and you find your purpose. Everybody has different purpose, whether it's to be there for somebody else or whether what God was trying to show you for your next child that, hey, this could happen. This situation can happen. The baby could be sick. The baby can have kidney failure. The baby can have lung failure. The baby can have a hard time waking up. You know, that's all that can help you with help somebody else that's had a new baby coming home. And your purpose can be 101 things, but you got to not let it break you. So, with that being said, you're going to have to stand up and be strong. I had so many people ask me, hey, I'm surprised you were able to wake up and take a shower and not be depressed. One thing and two things for certain. I come from a family that don't just give up. You know, so even in our worst hours, we going to get up, we going to wash ourselves, we going to take ourselves up. We not going to look like we suffering. You feel what I'm saying? The weight of the world could be sitting on our back. But you're not going to see that in our face. And at first, I used to be so mad because they were so tough. But at the same time, if they wouldn't have been so tough, ain't no way I would have made it through many situations. So for that, I'm grateful. And I need y'all to be stand up. And I need y'all to be strong for anybody that you go through this around you, or if you go through this situation, you got to stop and pray. And I'm going to tell you, for the other people that don't believe in prayer, you ain't got to stop. You ain't got to pray. You don't have to believe in prayer. Get down to yourself and talk to yourself. Oh, that's a mental thing. People say you're crazy when you're talking to yourself. No, you're crazy when you answer yourself. You're not supposed to say, hey, how you doing? No, that's crazy. When you sit down to yourself and you say mentally, okay, this is killing me. This is breaking me down. What can I do to not be broken? Get you a pen and paper and write when the emotions come, when the flashbacks come. Make an exercise so when the flashbacks come to you, you can know what you can do next. Simple. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will have new videos to come. I have an update coming up with the pregnancy. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back to see you guys later.